Chris Reed, thank you so much for joining us on Social Impact Power Chats. We are delighted to have you.
Emily, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, excited to chat with you about social impact and all things for good.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Well, we're going to jump right into it because I want everyone to get as much Chris Reed knowledge as they can in this power chat. So the first question is, how did you get into social impact, however you want to define that?
I would say, I've always wanted to work with kids, and sports was just my life growing up and my life as a college student. And I got a beautiful opportunity with the Washington Nationals back in 2013 to work with them to build a new program specific for the lower income communities in Washington D.C. That ended up becoming the Washington Nationals Youth Baseball Academy. That serves over 250 students on a weekly basis, and then pretty much about 500 kids during the summer or more. But it was an opportunity to give back to my city and bring something new that I didn't have as a youth. Like, we didn't have baseball growing up. We didn't have Little League in the Black communities and neighborhoods in DC. So being able to bring something new that was going to be beneficial and the sport for good opportunity, but also sport for development for our young people, I jumped at the chance, and it launched me on this whirlwind tour of what I've been doing for the past 10, 11 years.
So you are somebody who flexes sports for for good.
Yeah,
Um, And I think one of the things that you've done is like really figure out how to turn that into a direct service. It's not like
yeah,
hypothetical or like
yeah,
we hope this works, but like you like know because you are with the kids.
yeah.
So, sort of speaking of being with the kids, if you can tell us a little bit about what you're up to now, the
Yeah,
organization that you're with, and kind of what your day job is today, that would
sure.
be awesome.
So, as you grow, you get further and further away from being with the kids if you work in sports. So, I actually serve as lead trainer and consultant at the Center for Healing and Justice Through Sport. My day job and role is to work with local community organizations, sports teams, municipalities, school districts on training their coaches to understand the healing centered healing powers of sport for young people, understanding the brain and how young people have dealt with trauma, how we can help train your coaches to support young people who are having tough times. One of the things we harp on is the fact that COVID was a traumatic experience for everyone, not just the adults in the room, but young people too. Like, if you had a kid who couldn't go to school, they couldn't see their friends, they couldn't play their favorite sport. We had young people who didn't get a chance to graduate high school or like go to prom or have those rites of passage. So all of our kids are dealing with something traumatic in one way or another, and it shows in different ways. And sport is a great way to do so, but it has to be intentional. It has to be healing centered. And we do a wonderful job of helping coaches understand how to impact and how to just love on our kids a little more through sport and make it a great opportunity instead of a grueling one.
I can attest to that because I've seen you do it. So it's true. What he just said is true. uh, you know, for this next bit, would love for you to give us a more concrete, kind of specific example of something that you have helped to do or
Oh yeah,
build or
yeah, yeah.
grow, and a little bit of the like what's behind the curtain. Help us understand
Sure.
how you got it done and how people who wanted to do something similar might be able to get that done too.
Sure. So a big part of my stuff is just like project management, project based stuff. And so right now, like in Los Angeles, we are working with LA Rec and Parks to develop a department of coaching, and that starts with on the ground helping coaches by training them up. We're working with coaches who are all-star coaches. We're working with volunteer coaches. We're working with Women Coach LA, who it's a whole initiative to get young women into coaching and into the field of coaching. So my job there is to work with the task force that is like leadership in LA Rec and Parks. We've helped to develop a playbook. We've developed annual trainings that are each season for All Star and also for Women Coach LA. Our trainings are also sport specific. So like right now, we're in the cycle for aquatics, and this is our first time doing aquatics. So our team is learning a lot, but we're learning a lot so that we can give a lot to these young women who are going to be coaching kids on how to dive, how to swim in the deep end, how to play water polo, how to do gymnastic swimming. So this is one of the longer standing projects that we've had. We've been working with LA Rec and Parks for about 3 years now, and it's a partnership between ourselves and Nike to bring this training that's exclusive, and it's tailor made and built just for this specific organization. I have a hand in all the training. So I'm at every training, I'm at every event. I'm making sure that we connect with not only the coaches, but the leadership to ensure that not only what we're doing is going to be impactful for the coaches, but to be impactful for the young people that they're serving. And the cool thing is that the culmination of the training is a live practice that we're just there to support the coaches and make sure like you know how to do this and you feel confident doing this and you're knowing how to create a space for these young people that they feel safe, they're connected to you, and they're actually enjoying themselves and connecting with others. So that's a lot of what we do right now. For me personally, it's also a lot of travel. We have clients all over the globe, but more so in the U.S. On the West Coast, I'm between Los Angeles, San Francisco, Portland, and Seattle right now. But our work in Los Angeles is definitely very much impactful, and we're excited about the work with LA Rec and Parks.
Vehicle is sports, right? It's like
Yeah,
it's lightning in a bottle. Um, and you all are some of the best in the business. So if people are listening and they want to think about how to bring this into their community, their municipality, Chris's handles will be available here, wherever, up, down, look above. Um, and our last question, I can't believe we're already here, but as our chats are, we're quick.
yeah.
Would love to hear crystal ball. You've been in this work for over a decade. I know that you will be in it for many decades more. Where do you see the work going, or what are you excited about in terms of what's coming up, looking out on the field?
I think where I see the work going is more leagues getting involved. Like we work with teams, like we work with the Dodgers, we work with the Milwaukee Bucks, we work with the Portland Trailblazers. But I think leagues will start to understand, sport isn't just a money driver. It's actually a lifesaver. It's a life changer. It's an opportunity to give young people a better outcome than they previously had. And I think more leagues are starting to understand that. The NFL is understanding that social justice and social impact is a major, major thing amongst their fans, not just people, but people that actually are consumers, people that actually show up to games. The NBA has done a wonderful job with NBA Cares and their foundation to identify and pinpoint communities of need and service. So I think as we grow, you'll see more sports leagues, the MLS, the MLB. They'll do more in the community and they'll build more. And not to say that they're not doing, because I think that's a falsehood. Like a lot of people think, oh, they're not doing anything. There's a lot going on that people don't know. It's just they need to reach more people to have more impact. So I think you'll see more widespread impact. And I think you'll also see more athletes leading the charge on the social media, on the social impact front, and also just giving back and giving back in a very loud and visible way. 10 years ago, social media wasn't what it was now. So like actually being able to highlight and curate videos and promo packages to show like we're doing this work in some of the neighborhoods that nobody thinks about it. We're doing this work in cities and states that people aren't knowing are a basketball hub or a soccer hub or, a football hub. So I think as time goes on, you'll see more of a push to getting more kids involved in sports. There may be more academies built. There may be more teams building their own spaces that are youth specific or player specific. But I think more leagues will get involved as time goes on in a very meaningful and long lasting way.
I hope it's true. All of it. That sounds great. Chris, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate your time and everything that you're doing to make the world a better place.
Thank you for having me. Keep fighting a good fight.